Hello and welcome to my world. Today I'm going to show you what is underneath the body of the ESP King Clod Buster. And this video should be a quick one, and it's due to the overwhelmingly positive response I had to the first video that I made showing all the details about this truck. So some people were interested in seeing what's underneath the body and what's on the chassis of this truck, so I'll show you all that in this video. Over here on the right, this is what is underneath the body of the ESP King Clod, and there is a 6 AA battery holder that I bought from Amazon that's mounted right here underneath the bed of the truck with servo tape. And that is what powers the ram lights and the headlights. And the headlight kit you can see right here is just one of those standard Tamiya incandescent light bulb headlight kits, and it fits the era of the King Clod Buster. And the ram lights also are incandescent light bulbs in those, so really simple. And there's a built-in on-off switch right here, and just turn it on and off by sliding it on, and there's off right there. And this battery holder holds 6 AA batteries, and for 7.2 volts of power, which is what Tamiya rated the headlight kit at. The ram lights, I believe, could be powered by a 9-volt battery, but that is too much voltage for the Tamiya headlight kit. So the headlights are wired in parallel with all of the ram lights. So didn't want to blow out the headlights, so that's why it's only powered by 6 AA batteries. And those are rechargeable NiCad batteries in there. And I like that battery holder because it has that built-in on-off switch, so I didn't have to wire a completely separate on-off switch somewhere and mount that somewhere else on the body. So makes for a little bit of a cleaner install, and the switch, the on-off switch, can easily be reached by just sticking my finger inside the fender well right here. And you can just reach inside there, and I demonstrated that in the first video about the King Clod. So underneath the body, this is what the chassis looks like. And one of the things that's unique about this Clodzilla II chassis on the King Clod is that ESP made the radio tray right here from gold anodized aluminum. So this truck has that red and gold color scheme, and the radio tray is one of the unique parts on this chassis that was made out of anodized aluminum, along with the bumpers. And just really makes this chassis stand out and makes it a little bit different than all of the other Clodzilla II chassis out there. As far as the electronics go, there's a Futaba FP-R102JE AM receiver right here, 2-channel receiver. And the ESC is a PDI Turbo Zeta, which is mounted right here. And this was a very common electronic speed controller used by a lot of tractor pullers back in the day. And it is a waterproof electronic speed controller, and it can handle 32 C-cell batteries. And right now the King Clod has 28 C-cell batteries connected to it. All of the wiring is monster cable speaker wire. I mentioned that too in the first video that I made. So a little bit unusual. I've never seen anybody use monster cable speaker wire in an RC car or RC truck before. But I decided to keep all of that wiring because that was the original intent of the original builder that put this truck together for the first time, so did not want to change any of that. And also these orange connectors that you see, these are race prep battery connectors, and those, you don't see those anymore today either. I could have easily replaced all those with more modern connectors, or maybe even my preferred Dean's Ultra plugs, but once again, to keep the original intent of this truck, I kept all of the original wiring and all the original connectors like that. Can't find those, the race prep connectors anymore. Those have not been made in a long time. So let me go through a little bit about the PDI Turbo Zeta ESC, because not a lot of people know much about those. They were discontinued many years ago. I want to say sometime in the 1990s. So you just don't see them too much anymore. And the way you change the settings on that ESC is that if you notice, if you look at it, it does not have any dials or any buttons or anything on it to adjust. So the way you change the settings on this ESC is by using this right here. This is the HHP Zeta programmer that PDI uses to program all of their electronic speed controllers. And the way you use it is you plug this wire into the ESC and you change all of these little switches right here to certain combinations, and then you push this press to send button, and the combination of settings that you use on these switches right here determines things like your throttle curve, your brake settings, your throttle delay or reverse delay, things like that. And all of those settings that you put on these little on-off switches is shown in the original instruction manual. So to program one of these ESCs, you must have also the original instruction manual. And I got a copy of mine from the internet. Thankfully, people have scanned in the original PDI instructions and made them available on the internet. So I printed those up and I have those with me. So without that instructions, you will not have any idea what settings to put on these switches and what they correspond to as far as the throttle settings and throttle curves and all that stuff, and the brake curves too. So one other weird thing about this ESC is that it is a forward and reverse ESC with brakes, but the forward is powered by the batteries that are connected here. Like I said, the King Clod has 4 7-cell battery packs connected to it, but the reverse is powered by a separate plug right here. So very strange how the forward and reverse are powered by different sets of batteries that are connected to it. So as you can see right now, the King Clod does not have this reverse connected to it. So basically this is a forward only ESC right now with this setup, but there's just no room to mount another battery pack to power the reverse. So I've never used reverse in this truck before. But very strange ESC, not much is known about it. Amazingly, it does not overheat. There are no heat sinks on it whatsoever, and I do not have a cooling fan on it right now. So it stays cool though, amazingly. I don't know how, but it just does not overheat at all. So that is what is underneath the body of the ESP King Clod Buster. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Catch you in the next video.